Hey, what's up? I'm Steve, ACD of Productions at Digital Surgeons, and I want to talk to you about the number one thing you need to have for a successful photo shoot. I know it sounds clickbaity, and it kind of is, but seriously, in the past 5 years, this is the one thing that has helped me make sure that we have the most successful shoot possible. I want to talk about that today, but stick around because I want to show you it in action after the fact, right? I want to show you how we use this to have a successful shoot. I want to show you the success of that shoot, right? Because it'd be one thing if I was like, yeah, it made it successful, and then I show you garbage, and you'd be like, liar. But no, I want to show you the stuff that we made. So what is it, right? PreProduction Deck. That's it. Probably heard of it before. If you haven't, it's basically a document, right, that outlines what you're going to be doing on that shoot. And it's more than that. It's more than just saying, well, here's what we're going to do, right? It's a communication between you and the client. Not only you and the client, but you and your team, to make sure everyone is on the same page, literally and figuratively. One of the main benefits of a pre-production sheet is that it forces you to think about those actual shots that you're going to be creating. So you might have them locked up in your head like I have for many years, but it's one thing to then grab swipe or inspiration or a mood board or whatever you want to call it, putting it into a document, showing it to a client, showing it to your team, and having conversations about that. It's not uncommon for a PrePro deck to go through 1 or 2 revisions to make sure that everyone's aligned. You might put something together and say, hey, here's what we're thinking about based on our conversation. These are the approaches we'd like to have for this type of content. And the client might go, that's not what we were thinking. What if we did this? What if? That's the best sentence ever. And then you revise it, right? You show it to the team and they go, well, I don't really understand what this is here. What are we actually trying to achieve here? The stylist might say, for example, is the inspiration the actual wardrobe, or do you just like the scenery in this image? So it's one thing for you to put together a couple of images. It's another thing for you to put together multiple pages with highly detailed information. The PrePro deck that I want to show you today was short and sweet. One of the main reasons being is that this is a client that we've worked with before, Naboso. And in this case, the launch of a new product called a sensory stick. So it's this proprietary texture that they've created. We've worked with them before, we've helped launch other products, so we knew how to approach this. And in this case, we were approaching it very similarly because it goes alongside an existing product they had, which was the Duo insole. So what I want to do right now is I want to show you the PrePro deck, walk you through it a little bit, and then I want to show you the stuff that we actually made, right? So stick around for that. So here we go. Here is the first page. It's really straightforward. It's like a cover letter, right? Hey, hello, we are Digital Surgeons, you are Naboso, and this is a pre-production deck. Next page, straightforward, but I'm telling you what this document is for. Next page, let's outline what we're gonna be doing. Over 2 days, we're doing 2 different shoots, right? One shoot is gonna be video, one shoot is gonna be photo. Let's then start to break down what does that video shoot look like. I wanna give that visual and I wanna give that written because certain people learn and process information differently, so we wanna make sure we're covering those bases there. And here we're talking about the photo shoot, right? Referencing what we did last time, and in this case, you see here I'm featuring the Duo insoles, so these are shots that we did previously. They loved it, it was a success, so we say, well, we wanna leverage that, we wanna base our content off of that, so we're just showing them that. Now let's start to break down what is the lifestyle, what are we actually including in this lifestyle video shoot. In this case, we've got our 3 categories: perform, active, repair. And then we start to break down each one individually. So what does perform? What's the approach for perform, right? And we break that all down right here. Feel free to pause the video and read through all of this stuff. There's no need for me to kind of go through it all here. Active approach, same thing. We want to show some visual cues. We want to give a breakdown of some of the exercises, things like that we're thinking about. And then the repair approach, again, same thing. We want to give a breakdown. We want to give some visual reference of what we were thinking so the client can look at this and go, yes, totally, love that. Or, no, you know what, maybe let's make sure we include this. Or, ooh, don't forget to include this. And then we can update this. We get a sign off and we're good to go. And then next what we did was we included a breakdown of the studio shoot. And again, because the client is already experienced with us, they know what to expect. We didn't have to go into great detail, but referencing and showcasing the stuff that we had done previously and basically saying we're gonna do all that again. And let's get to it. That's it. So that's a PrePro deck. It doesn't have to be this involved, although I do really like the ability for you to have something that is a combination of visual and written side by side together, broken up into chunks. I have received PrePro decks or worked on PrePro decks that are basically like a Word document that are just kind of written out and some thumbnails are there. That can work, absolutely. I like the ability of having information broken out into chunks. I think just like a slideshow. It's an easy way for someone to look at one thing, stay focused on it, process that information, and then move on to the next. And then you kind of just build from there. That presentation process has already been established, go with it. Let's dive into some of the work now. All right, so here is the landing page. This is where you will be brought to, right, if you receive one of the ads. And if you're interested in purchasing, you want to get some more information, that's what a landing page is for. I'm sure you've encountered a landing page at some point in the past few years, right? And as you scroll down, we've got some side-scrolling text. We photographed these boxes in studio. You can see here as I continue to scroll, the box opens up. Information, the stick comes out of the box. Real slick, right? Real nice. Active and perform, or activate and perform. So here you can see I'm so stoked that we actually got to work with my friend Bert, and he was the model for us, and he is an absolute beast. But you can see here it's just a series of clips that we ran through, and this is pretty close and aligned with what we showed in the PrePro Deck, right? We continue to scroll down. Here is strengthen and tone. So this is actually the client, Emily, and we had her doing some Pilates and doing some yoga in a studio. Again, pretty well aligned with what we had in the PrePro Deck. And a lot of this too was, we have a really good idea of what we're gonna do, and then in the moment, a little bit of improv. Hey, what if you did this? Ooh, I have an idea, let's try this exercise. She was actually really helpful for that. So really, really awesome to be able to work with her directly like this and feature her with her own product. Next, we come down to the heal and recover. And again, we're featuring Dr. Emily, she is a doctor. We wanted to just show her with a patient. We'll continue to scroll down a little bit more here. We got my man Bert. And then this was one of my absolute favorite shots of the day in studio, were the actual sticks. What you don't see here are the retouched fishing lines that we used to hold this. And then here you can see some more information and then a final pack shot. So stoked with this landing page. It's really cool when you capture imagery and then you see it in its use, right? Because as photographers, I think we're so used to just having an image that's finalized. In the world of commercial photography, your final image might just be on a white background, which in this case, the sticks, most of them were. And it's nice to see them actually cut out and then used, right? Or on a black background, or just seeing them within context. So now what I wanna do is I wanna show you some of the ads that you might get hit with, maybe. All right, so this is one of the ads. I shot the video, but Dre actually put together the final edit. I just love the way you put all this together. When this was coming together, we knew that we were gonna do 16:9 and 9:16, so actually just about everything we shot, we did 1-for-1, a version of horizontal and a version of vertical. And I know what you're thinking, Steve, well, why didn't you just pull back a little bit, shoot wide, and then crop on the inside? It's just not the same. It's just not. We tried it, we looked at it, and it just wouldn't be the same, not to mention the fact that you're just throwing away a ton of resolution. So what does that mean? It means that we have to spend a little bit more time, and we have to be mindful of making sure that we get 1-for-1 trade-offs of basically everything that we shot. So the first one that I showed you was the evergreen ad, meaning it's something that's always going to be used to showcase all of the functions of the sensory stick. But if we want to target a specific audience, we're going to create an ad specifically targeted for them. That was very redundant, but let me show you now the performance ad. Love it. And again, I'm just showing you the 16:9 versions. We made 9:16 versions as well. So as of right now, this is the last ad that I want to show you. This is for the yoga and Pilates. So that's it. I say that's it. I mean, there's still much more of this. Like, we had all of the actual shots, but I don't need to go through specifically one by one, because really what you saw in that landing page is the full utilization. On the actual website, we did have a few other images that were referenced. Actually, let me see if I can pull those up. Let me show you. So right here, this is actually the home page, and you can see that because it's a new product, we want to feature it right there in the header. So we have that featured right there. We can go to Shop Sensory Sticks. So here are those PDP images, the product detail page images. So, and you can see we shot everything on white. Here's the sticks, the box, really straightforward. And then there's the ad, links to the ads. So if you wanted to pick up a pair of these, 80 bucks. Again, super stoked with the work that we did, and so much of this stemmed from the work that we did before we actually picked up a camera, right? The pre-production. So the next time you're approaching a shoot, I highly, highly, highly recommend creating a pre-production deck, even if it's a 1-pager, 2-pager, something really simple. You put together a couple of images, you put together some descriptions, you have some positioning statements beyond any conversations that you've already had, so that this way you're really putting your vision in front of the client and in front of your team, right? That's almost just as important, so that way everyone is aligned and that you're delivering something that you all agree upon that you're going to deliver. So I hope that was helpful, thoughtful, insightful, maybe. Let me know what you think. Thoughts, feedback, and comments, always welcome. See you in the next one.